Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This Thanksgiving, think outside the oven and get Thanks Grilling with Ace. Get a new grill and choose from top brands like Traeger, Weber, and Big Green Egg to add even more flavor to your Thanksgiving turkey, side dishes, and desserts. Plus, right now, get free assembly and delivery on all grills and accessories $3.99 and up. For the best help on the best grills, stop by your local Ace and get Thanks Grilling. Ace Rewards members only through December 24th. See participating stores for scheduling or exclusions.
Episode 1823 of No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I've got one of those tough interview questions for you today, specifically for salespeople, particularly for anyone who's in a sales situation. This could be interpreted, of course, about didn't get your way with a client, with a user, with someone. Hope you find this helpful and give it a great review wherever you listen to the show. And if you've got a question for me, reach out to me through Wizio.com. That's WISIO.com/The Big Game Hunter. I'd be happy to answer your questions. And with that, let's get going. This is a behavioral interview question that obviously be asked of a salesperson, but variations of this are asked of people in the C-suite or at a manager level and above to talk about situations where failure occurred, because this is really what the question's about. Tell me about a time you failed. Now, the key thing always to remember is that the goal is not to blame others for the failure, even if others were a part of why it failed, because ultimately you're responsible. And as a salesperson, as someone in the C-suite, it is really hard to admit that you had a part in the failure. So understand what firms are looking for is dissecting and doing a post-mortem of the mistakes that occurred on the sale. So you can start off by saying, look, I want to be very clinical about this and break down exactly how the mistake occurred. And you've got to go through the sales situation. And one of my favorite things, especially with salespeople, is to point out, in reflection, and one of the things I made the mistake of doing, and you soften your voice and you think theatrically, and put together the situation in a way where you say, one of the things that happened here is that I believe the client when they talked to me about their pain point and what their issue was, and I shortcutted my process because, frankly, I believed what they had to say. But there was a secondary issue that was almost as important as the first that I missed. And as a result, another firm was able to beat me on the deal. A terrible mistake on my part. There's just something where I felt connected to the interviewer or to the client. I thought they were giving me everything I needed. And I have learned from this to go through my process of investigation no matter what. And I can make jokes about it where I'll say, hey, look, you're very clear about what you want, but just bear with me a little bit because sometimes there are secondary things I just want to make sure I address those issues as well that our product or service can satisfy too, because I don't want you having any doubt about our ability. So it's always about you and the mistake you made. And if you're in a sales leadership role, it's not about the junior staffer and the screw up that they made. It's about not giving them the resources, not managing them effectively so that they don't take shortcuts, not inspiring them sufficiently to hit their numbers. You get the idea of where I'm coming from with this. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few more ways to get information and advice from me. First of all, there's my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. I have more than 8,000 blog posts there that you can watch, listen to, or read that will help you find your next job. In addition, if you're interested in my coaching you, at the site there's a button there that says schedule. Schedule time for a free discovery call, schedule yourself in for coaching, interview preparation coaching, salary negotiation advice, coaching related to hiring more effectively, managing and leading, helping you to be a better executive in your organization, and overall being a better employee of your firm. If you have questions for me, you can ask them at Wizio.com/The Big Game Hunter. That's WISIO.com/The Big Game Hunter. The price at Wizio is less than 1/3 of what I'm charging at my website. And I'm doing this because I want to benefit my subscribers here and on YouTube, and only you're going to know about it. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Mention that you watched or listened to my content. I like knowing I'm helping folks. Once we're connected, it's nice to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you from time to time about how I'm helping. You can also watch me on TV. Did you know that? If you have a Fire TV or a Fire Stick, download the JobSearch TV app for Apple TV, Roku, Sony, Samsung, like 90 different TV platforms. You can watch me on either Zingo TV or BingeNetworks.tv. On YouTube, subscribe at JobSearch.TV.com and have access to thousands of videos I've created. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Be great!
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2020 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
The Home Depot has holiday savings of up to 40% on select appliances, like a Whirlpool 4-door French door refrigerator for just $15.98. It's perfect for a busy kitchen full of helping hands. That's where its fingerprint-resistant stainless steel finish really shines. Order online and get free delivery. Holiday appliance shopping improved, up to 40% off select appliances. Now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Continental U.S. only while supplies last. Valid through December 2nd. Free delivery on orders $396 or more.